Hi guys, it's Dating, Drumming, Young and Old. Now when the connection really feels real, but you don't know what it is or who you are or what you are, let me ask something. Have you ever met somebody and had one of those nights where everything just seemed to click? You weren't forcing it, you weren't pretending, you weren't wondering whether they liked you. You could feel it. And then the next day came, and suddenly you're sitting there thinking, wait, what just happened? That's what I want to talk about today. Younger people, I want you to hear on this because I've learned this one the hard way. A connection can be real without becoming a relationship. A kiss can be real. The chemistry can be real. Your feelings can be real. But none of those things automatically tell you what the other person intends to do. Tomorrow comes. What's in his intentions? So let me tell you, don't confuse someone's ability to make you feel something with their ability to give you something. Did you hear me? I'm talking directly to 20 to 30-year-olds. And I want young people to hear me on this because I've talked to many young women downtown. We've had some very heartfelt conversations. And I know some young 20-year-olds are just looking for the next best thing. They're looking for the hookups. They're drinking a lot. They're just going through the motions and having fun. Now that's fine if that's what you want to do. But is it really what you want? Is it really what you want to do? Or are you there thinking, oh my God, if I'm good enough in bed, if my sex is amazing the first night we met, he's going to call me tomorrow. He's going to want to date me. He's going to love me. You know, hookups have become a national deal, a big deal. I mean, it's just normal thing how it works. A hookup is what you do, and if you're lucky, you might get a second date. And I wonder if women are thinking that. You know, they had this sex and they did say in their mind maybe, will it be a second date? Like I said a minute ago, you want it. You're going to do your best. You're going to be the best sex they had, so they want you. But is that real? Is that how it should work? There's a very emotional thing for a person to go through. And I just want you to know that you're worthy of someone who wants to date you first. And I know you're going, oh my God, she's talking like a 65-year-old woman. Maybe I am. But why can't 20 and 30-year-olds do that too? Why can't you guys catch a movie, go for ice cream, go have a drink, walk you to the door, kiss you goodnight, respect her, and start something special? Why do you have to know if the sex is good before you know you want to know her as a person? Damn. And I've also talked to men who said, I got to taste the product first. Like, what? I got to sleep with her. I got to know if it's going to be good enough, what I just said. And if I really want to date her. That, my friend, is a young generation and what they see and believe. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what they believe. But if you know me as Raw Riley, you know I try to dig in deeper to those conversations. That's why I'm here. But there are those people that when you're told they want more, if you're told you're special and they want to spend the night with you, and you're told that this is going to go somewhere and we're going to build and we're going to spend time and we're going to talk and we're going to video chat when I'm in college or whatever the reason, I don't know about you, but sometimes it's believable. Sometimes the back scratching, sometimes the kisses, the hugs, sometimes the intimacy seems real. And then sometimes the week becomes slowly, quietly pulling away. And all of a sudden, you're feeling like, what did I do? What happened? And it's all your fault. You start rescuing the situation, you start fixing it, you start trying to do something, and you get mad. You make accusations, you say, oh, you must be with someone else, and you don't want me. And it's just a circle. Around and round it goes. The cycle that we have to go through. And maybe you can't do that, and maybe you do that. Maybe you aren't one that does that to people, but maybe you are. But I thought it was important to add this into this, what we're talking about today. When you start looking for answers, because sometimes we're so busy trying to figure out what somebody meant that we stop looking at what they're actually doing. We stop looking at the actions. Can we stop and look at this and how this made us feel, what their actions are, and make our decisions based on that? But see, it's confusing. They said they liked you, okay? Do they call? They said they wanted to know you better. Do they ask questions about your life? They said they're not looking for a relationship, but they want to build something with you. When they say they're not looking for a relationship, believe that. Because you just slept with them and they don't want a relationship. That's a problem. And if they tell you they're confused, don't make it your life's mission to become the person who unconfuses them. Don't get into the trap of needing answers. That's where dating can become exhausting. You start investigating, you replay conversations, you analyze the punctuation in a text, you wonder why they were affectionate today, Tuesday, but distant Thursday. You start asking your friends, you start asking yourself, you start asking them same question over and over again. You're hoping the sixth answer will finally make sense. Baby, baby, baby. Sometimes there isn't another answer. Sometimes the answer is the behavior. Why we feel the need to investigate. And here's the real question underneath all that. Why do we feel we need to investigate it so deeply? Why investigating, maybe asking a question, but why so deeply? Why do we get crazy about it? Why do we turn confusion into a project? Because confusion doesn't feel neutral. It feels uncomfortable. It feels unfinished. It feels like something we can fix if we just think hard enough, ask the right questions, or decode the right message. And honestly, it also comes from hope. Hope that if we understood it better, it will turn into what we want it to be. So we start doing emotional detective work, we start building theories, we start trying to solve a person. But guys, the truth is you can't investigate someone into clarity if their behavior is already showing you inconsistency. Distance instead of more investigation. That's what you need. If somebody's behavior leaves you constantly confused, crying, feeling manipulated, you don't necessarily need more information. You already have it. You already know you're crying your eyes out all week. You feel manipulated. You feel like that night was just a play to get what they wanted. You need more distance. The question you daters can ask in your 20s and 30s, and you're sitting there tonight wondering, what are we? What are we? What are we? Ask them the question, what are we? Are we a hookup? Are we building something? Are we going to date? Are we going to see where this goes? Are we a relationship? What are we? But listen carefully to the answer. And if they can't give you one, you get to decide what you're willing to participate in. You don't have to audition somebody's love. You don't have to convince somebody to choose you. And you don't have to turn yourself into a detective just because somebody confuses you. Connection is beautiful, but consistency is what tells you whether that connection has somewhere to go. This is Riley. Have a great day. And I hope that you're listening, younger dudes, younger women. I hope you're hearing this and hope you try to make a better impression on people in the next one that you sleep with.